हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि 500 सालों से जो एक शुरुआत हुआ था लोकल अर्थव्यवस्था को, लोकल इकोनॉमी को बर्बाद करने का, और जो ये सेल्फ रिलायंट इकोनॉमी जो बर्बाद हुआ है उसके बाद से हमारी क्योंकि सेल्फ रिलायंट इकोनॉमी से जैसे हम लोग जो कॉलोनियल पावर जो औपनिवेशिक शक्ति आई दूसरे देशों से और यूरोप से खास करके, और जो सेल्फ रिलायंट इकोनॉमी था उसको हटा के मोनोकल्चर, कॉटन, टी वगैरह का खेती होना शुरू हुआ, और उसके वजह से जो सॉइल फर्टिलिटी है उसका बर्बाद होना, और साथ ही क्या कहते हैं प्लांटेशन, जो नेचुरल वहाँ के जो पेड़ पौधे थे उसको काटना, इन्वेजिव प्लांट्स को लगाना। और अभी नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आप सभी को ज्ञात होगा कि पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट में पाम ऑयल को लेके पाम ट्रीज लगाए जाने की योजना बन रही है, जो कि बहुत ही वहाँ के लिए बुरा है, और वो एक तरह से त्रासदी ही लाएगी, लैंडस्लाइड जैसे इशू होंगे और बहुत तरह के वहाँ पे दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ेगा, और साथ में सॉइल फर्टिलिटी तो खराब होगी जब पाम ऑयल वहाँ लगाने की उपयुक्त मिट्टी भी नहीं है। लेकिन कंज्यूमरिज्म और फिर से वही जो एक ग्लोबलाइजेशन और उसकी वजह से जो ये कंज्यूमरिज्म का, उपभोक्तावाद का जो ये चलन चल रहा है उसी का ये परिणाम है। और साथ ही हम सभी जानते हैं कि मधुमक्खियों का जो 20,000 प्रजाति अभी बची हुई है, और 25% को खत्म करने के बाद ये 20,000 प्रजाति बची हुई है, और हर महीने ये एक डेटा आया, हर महीने एक्सटिंक्ट हो रही है मधुमक्खी की एक प्रजाति। और हम सभी जानते हैं कि प्रेडिक्शन है कि अगर पॉलिनेशन नहीं होगा, मधुमक्खियां अगर पूरे दुनिया से खत्म हो जाती है तो ह्यूमन लाइफ बस उसके 4 साल बाद खत्म हो जाएगा। और इसके साथ ही हम जानते हैं कि जो ये क्या कहते हैं फूड माइल्स जो हमारा बढ़ रहा है कंज्यूमरिज्म और ये सब के वजह से, जो लोकल यहाँ जो आपकी जो एक जगह के जो इकोनॉमी है, लोकल इकोनॉमी है, वहीं पे अगर आप घी खरीदते हैं तो वो शायद बहुत ज्यादा महंगा मिलेगा, लेकिन अगर किसी ब्रांड का खरीदते हैं तो वो बहुत ज्यादा में मिलेगा। तो ये जो लोकल इकोनॉमी खत्म हो रहा है, फूड माइल्स बढ़ रहा है, और ये फूड माइल्स सिर्फ एक तरीके से प्रोड्यूसर और कंज्यूमर के बीच का जो ये फासला है ये तो बढ़ा ही रहा है, और साथ में जो उसके वजह से क्रिस क्रॉस ट्रेड हो रहा है पूरे प्लेनेट पे, और उसके वजह से जो कार्बन एमिशन हो रहा है ये बहुत ही हानिकारक है। और अगर आप देखें तो एक ही चीज का जो एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट है दोनों बराबर हो रहा है, और एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट बराबर हो रहा है, फिर अगर कोई भी चीज किसी देश में कम है तो वहां पे इंपोर्ट ज्यादा होना चाहिए, एक्सपोर्ट कम होना चाहिए। लेकिन अगर आप मिल्क का ही डेटा देखें तो एक्सपोर्ट भी उतना ही हो रहा है पर्टिकुलर कंट्री में, और इंपोर्ट भी उतना ही हो रहा है। तो ये एक पूरा का पूरा जो कंज्यूमरिज्म मार्केट है उसका क्या कहते हैं एक तरह से, और ये हम सभी जो कंज्यूमर हैं उनको समझना पड़ेगा। इसीलिए जो एक स्मॉल स्टेप है, टाइम टू टेक ए स्टेप, हम सभी को ये समझना होगा कि हमें अपने लोकल इकोनॉमी को ज्यादा से ज्यादा बढ़ावा देना है। और अभी जो वेस्ट इंपीरियलिज्म, पूर्व से पश्चिम की ओर जो वेस्ट मतलब जो कचरा का जो एक वो आ रहा है कि पहले तो हम लोग फाइनेंशियल इंपीरियलिज्म में थे, और आज के डेट में ईस्ट से वेस्ट की ओर ईस्ट से वेस्ट की, वेस्ट से ईस्ट की ओर जो ये क्या कहते हैं वेस्ट का इंपीरियलिज्म का जो ये एक प्रोपेगेंडा चल रहा है ये भी है साथ में। और इसके साथ में हम लोग जानते हैं कि मोनोकल्चर का जो फार्मर्स को एक तरह से मार्केट के वजह से जो मोनोकल्चर करना पड़ रहा है, और लाचार है किसान की खेती से आमदनी हो, और यही एकमात्र उपाय है। और जबकि रिसर्च बार बार दिखाया गया है, वंदना शिवा ने एक अपने इंटरव्यू में भी बोला था उन्होंने कि अगर आप स्मॉल लेवल पे बायोडाइवर्स स्मॉल फार्म करते हैं यूजिंग इकोलॉजिकल इनपुट्स, तो 3 से 5 गुना आपका ज्यादा यील्ड होता है अगर आप मोनोकल्चर के कंपैरिजन में अगर करें। तो इसीलिए हम लोगों को ये समझना होगा कि बायोडाइवर्स स्मॉल फार्म्स और जो लोकल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उसको ज्यादा से ज्यादा यूज करें। और साथ में मुझे अभी भी याद आ रहा है कि जब पिछले साल वसुधा हुआ था उसमें पूछा गया था हम लोगों से कि कैसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं एनवायरनमेंट के प्रति सजग हो सकते हैं और क्या क्या कर सकते हैं। तो हमारे पहले की कन्वीनर अनु सिंह मैम बताई थी, हम लोग बहुत बड़े बड़े बात कर रहे थे कि गवर्नमेंट को ये करना चाहिए, लेकिन उन्होंने ये कहा था कि हम लोग अगर चाहें तो सुबह जगने से लेके रात को सोने तक बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं, जो कि एनवायरनमेंट के लिए हम लोग एक सजग और जो एक कॉन्शियस इंसान को जो करना चाहिए, पानी को बचाने से लेके एनर्जी को बचाने तक, वो सब हम लोग कर सकते हैं। फिजूल में लाइट को ऑन ना करके, पानी का उपयोग कम करके, ऐसे ऐसे छोटे फ्लश, यहाँ तक कि आजकल जो फ्लश का बड़ा बड़ा टैंक आ रहा है, आप टैंक के साइज को नहीं बदल सकते हैं, लेकिन टैंक के में आप एक बोतल को अगर रख दें तो वो जो एक्स्ट्रा वाटर है उसका वॉल्यूम कम हो जाता है, और उस पानी का उपयोग आप लोग फ्लश के रूप में कर सकते हैं। और आगे मुझे लगता है कि बहुत अच्छे से सेमिनार, हमारा जो आज का वेबिनार है उसमें बताया जाएगा। और ज़्यादा और एक आखिरी बात मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि हिडन सब्सिडीज और जो ये रेगुलेशंस है, स्क्यूड रेगुलेशंस जो है फूड के पे, इसकी वजह से जो लोकल मार्केट है उस पर बहुत ही ज़्यादा असर पड़ रहा है। हम सभी को ये चीज़ समझना होगा। और टेम्परेचर, क्लाइमेट चेंज, अलग अलग तरह का, और बेमौसम बारिश, ये सब कहीं ना कहीं मानव निर्मित है। और इन्हीं बातों के साथ मैं एक बिल मॉलिशन है, पर्मा कल्चरिस्ट, उनको कोट करना चाहूँगा कि द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ the world are increasingly complex, but the solutions are embarrassingly simple. So और एक और बात कि bigger is not always better, rather smaller is more easy, more cozy and nourishing. तो हमें स्मॉलर की तरफ मिनिमलिस्ट तरीके से देखना पड़ेगा, जो गांधी जी का भी हमारा सपना था और हम सभी का वो होना चाहिए आज के समय में। और मैं अब शिवम अग्रवाल, जो हमारे सोसाइटी के ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी हैं, उनको मैं निमंत्रित बड़े ही आदर और सम्मान के साथ करना चाहूंगा कि वो आगे प्रोग्राम को बढ़ाएं। धन्यवाद।
Suraj, first of all, we would like to invite Annu Satyal ma'am to say a few words
Annu
and
Satyal ma'am, sorry,
enlighten us. Annu Satyal ma'am is the teacher convener of our society, and she has always supported us. And she has always supported us in all the events, in all the campaigns, whatever we have done till now. It has been possible just because of her. So, ma'am, please take it forward.
Thank you, Isha. Thank you, Suraj, and thank you, Green Brigade. I first of all want to begin by welcoming you all for having taken time out to join this crusade, this effort on part of the Green Brigade to remind us. They have been constantly reminding us. Don't worry, the number of events and the number of campaigns the Green Brigade has been undertaking, has performed over the year, has been very, very encouraging, very, very you can say exemplary also, because this is therefore the culmination of all their efforts for the year only, obviously, because next year they'll be up and about again with a series of events and campaigns and workshops, and finally the fest. So time to take a step is a very timely reminder to all of us that it's never too late to begin. Perhaps maybe we are just on time, and it's nick of the time that we start with our efforts, each one of us, not, as Isha said, as Suraj said, not as a matter of a day or a couple of hours committed to this work, but as a pattern of life, as a way of living, which is something that we all have to imbibe. And Suraj has very beautifully put the entire notion of how the environment is threatened in a very socio-economic, historical perspective. And it's encouraging to see these youngsters so very keen to take on this task of saving the environment. And in fact, they are the only ones. All of us have to put in our bit, but they are the ones who are the future. And so to see them being so sensitive to all these issues is something which makes us feel that we are in good hands. For today, the Green Brigade, which is the Environment Society of the College of Vocational Studies, has over the past 5 days, they've been conducting a lot of competitions and campaigns, and I was part of the Nature Shairi for some time in the morning as well. which was a very high level of poetry, I must say, that was being recited. And for the lack of time, because I had classes to take, that I had to, unwillingly leave that session. But I am looking forward to the evening or the afternoon session that they have uh, put up for us. We have very eminent speakers this evening. Mr. Tashi Morup from Ladakh, who is the project director, Ladakh Arts and Media Organization, who would be talking on the impact of urban development on the ecosystem of Ladakh, and Mr. K. Abdul Ghani, who will be speaking on our responsibilities towards the nature and the ways to protect it. He is the Green Man of India. I was reading their bios, which I'm sure the students will read to introduce the speakers. Very impressive, very encouraging, very inspiring, and we all look forward to what they have to say, to motivate us, to remind us of all the responsibilities that we have towards the environment. And before I end, I just have to, I would like to put in my appreciation for the entire team of Green Brigade, who, despite the lockdown, despite the online classes, their spirit was undeterred. They have worked through the year with all their events, campaigns, competitions, workshops, a very nice set of workshops, one in the previous semester, one this semester, and now this festival that they have put up together. I think these students are people with immense resources, creativity, energy, and very encouraging, very inspiring. So I have only helped them in facilitating a lot of things, a lot of ideas, etc., that come from them, which makes my work much easier, of course. And so I have to say that the entire team, headed by Isha as the president of the Green Brigade, with Love, Shivam, Suraj, Akshita, Sindhuja, Piyush, Himanshu, Shubham, Shreya, Vaibhav, Bhupesh, Divyang, Samiksha, Harsh, Isha, and Shaheen. These are some of the core members, and there are many more people who are associated with Green Brigade. They all deserve, a big round of applause. They deserve all the appreciation from all of us, all the encouragement from all of us to carry on with their good work. So, and I would also want to thank Anu Singh, who has been the convener of the Green Brigade in the past, who was the founding convener, in fact, who has shown this society its path, and it's given it, the motto, the entire energy, etc. So I am also very thankful to her for participating in today's session. Thanks, Anu, for being here. And so that's all. And best of luck for today, and best of luck for the future. All of us are now once again reminded of our responsibility towards the environment, and we must carry on with this responsibility forever in the future as well. A very beautiful definition of sustainability was given in one of the poetry today, and which Isha also mentioned, and that is very nice way of putting it, that if we want to consume everything today, what are we going to leave for our future generations? And no matter how you define sustainability, I think this is the most beautiful and the simplest way of defining it. So once you understand this, then we will come to know, and we will realize our own responsibilities towards the environment, towards each other, towards our future generations. So thank you so much, Isha, for putting this together, and you may carry forward now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words. We really appreciate your support, and really appreciate your acknowledgement. And it is overwhelming for us to finally have the last event of the session. Thank you so much for your support always. So carrying forward, I would like to invite Shivam Joint Secretary of our society, to welcome our speaker and to introduce them and welcome them. Shivam, are you there? Shivam, are you there? Guys, sorry for inconvenience. There's some network issue from Shivam side. Just give us a second. So taking it forward, I would like to introduce K. Abdul Ghani sir. So we welcome you, sir, in our annual fest, VASUDHA' 2021. So introducing him, A. Abdul Ghani sir is a social activist. He is also known as Green Man of India. He has planted 40 lakh trees in educational institutions in more than 15 districts in Tamil Nadu and few other states like Karnataka and Maharashtra. Abdul Ghani sir was a bank employee at Standard Chartered before being a full-time environmental activist. When he met Abdul Kalam at the Raj Bhavan with couple of activists, Abdul Kalam challenged all of them to start planting trees. Abdul Ghani was so encouraged to take that up as residing in cities, do understand the importance of growing and maintaining trees, but step back due to space, time, and other teething problems. Therefore, he decided to solve it all one after the other. First, he resolved the space issues. He started registering the identified empty space in the educational institutes in the space bank. As more people came to know about the project on their own, they came forward and gave a small batch of their land for planting trees. Only requisite for registering the space is to sign agreement. The plant shall not be disturbed for minimum 10 years. In this way, spacing of the planting sapling became accessible. Next, he set up a tree bank. Generally, people want to do something different on their special day like birthday or anniversary. So, planting a sapling is a noble work. All those who are interested in growing trees mention the name of the trees, number, and contribute the money in the tree bank. Once he gets the inquiry in the tree bank, he connects it with the space bank. Sapling are sourced from the nearest possible nursery. Third, there are few volunteers who wants to do work for social cause on their free days. So they come up and plant a sapling for those who have donated the tree in the tree bank in case it is not possible for them to come on the identified place. In this way, he could grow trees in many parts of the countries. He launched India's first ambulance for trees. The services provided by the tree ambulance include first aid treatment to trees, uprooting, tree planting, seed bank, seed ball distribution, plant distribution, aiding tree plantation, chipping trees, a survey of trees and removal of dead trees. He was also the part of disaster management team which carried out relief operation during Nepal earthquake and Uttarakhand flood. We are glad to have you in our event, sir. Sir, are you there?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, so thank you for your kind introduction, and it is pleasure talking to you on this wonderful occasion. And yeah, so it's very nice to hear the good work which you guys are doing. And just I'm here to add few of things which I've been learning on all these years. So about to talk on this today's subject, as we all know today, the hot topic which is climate change and global warming, which is a key factor in day-to-day routine of us. And here something which I want to talk about, which is more practical and which is a solution to combat global warming. See, today we know that there's so much of submit which happens, which recent COP 21 to all the other summit which happens. And today what is which is very essential is something where we come with more of a tangible outcome to protect and to fight this climate change. So what I believe, and that's where like on my introduction also today, she talked about the tree ambulance. See, one is about planting trees, as how holistically we've been doing through our space bank, tree bank, voluntary bank. So that is one thing which is today quite common everywhere. People are doing, but what we do is very holistic way. And the other one is which is very unique, which is first time in India. I'm so happy to tell today that unique concept has saved more than lakhs of trees, especially on such disaster. So when she introduced about me planting so many number of trees, so I would not consider as an achievement more than the trees which we saved, or rather transplanted. So we given another life which I consider more prestigious thing which I did in this 15 years of journey. So even recently also we've been asked by government of India on their one of the special project of the bullet train, close to 8,500 trees which was about to cut. So NGT, National Green Tribunal, requested, and then government of India had asked us to do the tree transplantation. Otherwise, this 8,500 trees would have cut, and all these trees are from 50 to 70 to 100 years old tree. So today, every part of the city, such trees are being cut. So more than planting, saving a trees, which is very important. Planting, we plant 2-3 feet small seedlings, but saving trees which has of leaves, and every single leaves observes this carbon footprint, which is something which is very important. So you could look into tree ambulance. This now our aim and objective is to expand this tree ambulance to 750 districts in India. So in fact, we have approached Honorable Prime Minister, who has been a visionary leader. In fact, the UN has acknowledged the first UN Environment Champion Award to the Prime Minister, who has been a torchbearer of the environmental campaign. We want to bring the first country in the world where every single trees are saved from cutting. Today, people for domestic reason, for so many other reasons, trees are being cut. So that has to be stopped. So India should be the first country where cutting trees could be a criminal offense. So those are such policies or such initiatives could able to see, like as our honorable prime minister who got plastic policy today we could see more than we could see plastic, because still this plastic, because now the most important thing is the manufacturing of plastic is stopped. Now, what is the existing plastic which is been again recycled as long as it is available? So this kind of policy could able to play a very vital role. And the other important aspect which we are working and which we are about to bring it into reality is about the carbon tax, like how we have water tax, electricity tax, and house tax. So this carbon tax is something which is very important. Today, if you look at the main culprit of all this emissions and all are urban industries and all the village people are the most friendly, eco-friendly people who are the supporter of this environmental initiative. And urban people, if you see in every houses, more number of air conditions, fan, to more number of vehicles and all that. So this has to be somewhere controlled. Now people think they have money and they can afford, but that is not reality. So it is like per person should be able to contribute only this much amount of carbon, which is something which is very important. So that could be very important role to control this emission. And that's where we have done a few pilot projects. And see, this is not only in terms of such thing. Today in the field of environment, we should able to see more number of innovations. And that can only still we can see every city has piled up with garbage, and 80 to 100 years of garbage still piled up, and still it is there's no technology or innovation could able to. So those areas, so environmental, I see very lack of innovation. Even then, if some innovation comes, it ends up with just as an innovation. It does not convert into prototype or a business model. So those things has to be encouraged. There should be subsidy should be given. I think I can proudly say India is one country where today environment has been looked into a very top priority, because here the peoples in India and the visionary leaders are more in line with the patriotism, and also they try to connect with the more of a bond with the Mother Earth. So that's where all such initiatives, even on the policy also, India has always signed into such visionary policies on reducing the emissions to all this thing. So those kind of conferences and all this initiatives and all these talks today, it has been very widely all this happening, because I remember I'm into this field for last 15 years, but recent 5 years I could see huge development which is happening. So those are the things which has to be appreciated. And now from campaign to policy, we have to go to the next level of bringing some change, which is something which I consider which is very important in today's life. And we have to protect this earth, and we have to hand over to the future generation, and that should be our responsibility. And if we fail to do, then it will be high time. So those are my insight, and no, I'm once again I am happy and thankful for having me invited to this. And you could able to look into tree ambulance, where you could able to find our initiatives, and you could see the recent tree transplantation we have done. So yeah, so there's a lot of such initiatives are coming up. Which I can keep we can keep updating into our website, so you can have a look, and you can also become a volunteer wherever you are. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. So yeah, so I made it very short. So
Yeah. So the now questions
question answer.
are
Please
is
go ahead.
uh, y- yeah. put you in the chat box so that we could ask from sir. Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
How you started this tree ambulance
See,
campaign? And
this never
sir,
never
please,
I
as
planned,
a, yeah,
never I planned anything. I was basically a patriotic student right from my school days. So the patriotism was always there in me to do something to my country. So I'm more than I always say, no, I'm very happy to be a patriotic Indian than by anything else. And no, so that thought was there. Maybe because of that, maybe I got to encounter an incident when I was working with bank, and then I got to. It's a long story. I happened to. There was an issue with the bank with terms of garbage. It is a long story. Like to tell it in a very short, like it was basically an escalation, which I got to a solution. Then later the bank appreciated me, promoted me, and they gave me a best bank award. They promoted, and then they want me to implement that converting of waste into wealth, that initiative in all the bank. Then I happened to pick up rack pickers who helped me in my first bank to transform that. And I happened to visit a dump yard, and that's where I got shocked. And that day where I went, returned to my bank, and I left my job, and I got into full time, no, leaving my first job. And that the incident which I saw a community of 30, 40 people were living in this dump yard, and every day the waste which we throw in the street to the places which is been collected in a truck and which is unloaded, and where this community were trying to pick up the food from the garbage on the truck every day. And I saw a mother with 3 years old baby. She picked up a food and kept it in a thermocol, and she left the baby, and then she went to pick up the food for her. Then I saw the baby which she was sharing that food with a pig. So that incident struck me very, very hard. Then that day I understood how fortunate I am, no, to live a better life. And that was the moment which ignited me to this journey. And that's where I am here.
sir, we have a question from Weber Gupta. Weber is a member of Green Brigade. What are the struggles that you faced in your journey?
Struggles,
Thanks,
see
Weber.
now,
First of all,
yeah.
sir, it's very insightful presentation from your side, and we are very delighted to have you. And please carry forward, please. Sir.
Yeah. So challenges, see, I think initially, maybe now I forget what happened when the challenges used to be one or two. You remember when the journey itself challenge, but I took every challenges into more, as an opportunity rather as a challenge, and try to fight into those problems. And no, I felt more like a blessings rather a challenge. So those blessings today made me here. Otherwise, no, I would have not be counting the days which I could able to make it. So those was there a lot of challenge. See, the biggest challenge, like when people badmouth about you and criticize you, your own people who does not understand at the initial stage, and every single decision you make, they pull you around and all those things, which is all. But after a point now, once they understand, so once you prove, things changes. So then there was no such challenges. So it was totally a different life altogether. Yeah.
Sir, there is a question from Shivam Agarwal. Thank you, sir. Yes, there is one more question from Anjali Singh. Sir, we have a question.
Please.
What is the status of India and how far we still have to go to make our environment completely sustainable without compromising with the development?
Yeah, in terms of environment, last 10 years, total huge transformation in India happened. So thanks to Honorable Prime Minister, who understand it's important, who got lot of policies, which today is keeping us very close to protecting Mother Earth. So we could see huge thing. The UN Secretary General who came here, who appreciated Honorable Prime Minister's initiative of banning the plastic and changing all those things. So, in terms of each areas now, things are moving up, shaping up. So, I hope India will be a role model country to the world to fight this global warming. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Sir,
So,
the question, right? Yeah, sure.
yeah, there's one more question, a very nice and apt question. How did you get the name Green Man of India?
See, I was being honored by Padma Bhushan, Dr. Sivadana Pillai at a national award ceremony. So in that I was being awarded by his hand, by his hand. So that was the moment. And much before the media's and other lot of organizations was honoring me with that. But this became an recognition from the hands of Padma Bhushan Dr. Sivadana Pillai.
This is great to hear that. It's really great to have you, and it is really great to hear that, sir. So there's one question from my side that how today, like, we are so busy. Everyone has such a busy schedule. Like we don't even have maybe we don't even have time to eat properly or sleep properly. In that busy time, how can we have that inspiration, and how can we do that thing on a personal level to create some positive impact on our environment?
See, it is nothing called busy. It is like everybody's duty to do something back to, like how we do something back to our mother. So something similarly that we should all be doing too. This is a basic responsibility. Today I am being recognized by people, but I always tell them like, why is this recognition? See, I am just doing my duty. You understand? It is a duty like when a son is doing something to a mother, and that is not to be appreciated. It is his duty. So I feel it is similar that no, it is my duty to protect our country and to protect my mother earth. I think I will left with my charge. So I think I will not able to take further question. So hope I spend some quality time with you guys. So looking
Thank
forward
you
to.
so much, sir.
Looking
Thank
forward
you
to.
so much, sir. It was great having you. It was great to know you. And it is great, and I think all of the youth should get inspiration from you, and we should also we as a youth should also do the things to save our mother earth, plant more trees, and do things at a personal level which can help to improve the environment.
Yeah, thank you so much. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and thank you for taking time out to organize this and to invite me. Thank you. God bless. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, with this, we would like to invite our second guest, Tashi Morup, sir. And I would like, and it would be a great pleasure for me to introduce him. So, Tashi Morup, sir, is a project director of the Ladakh Arts and Media Organization. He has postgraduate degree in mass communication from Punjab University and another degree in journalism from Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU. He has worked as journalist and successfully ran his weekly newspaper. His area of research included the environment, the impact of development and tourism, mainly in Laytown, and music. He has always published several articles in national and international books and journals. Also, he published a book to commemorate the centenary celebration of 19th Shok Bokula Ranchipo a monk, politician, and statesman. He is one of the core members of Vikalp Sangam, the National Federation of Environmental Groups, and at the local level, he is Secretary Ladakh Cultural Forum and member of International Association of Ladakh Studies. So it is great pleasure to have you with us, sir. Due to some technical issue, we don't have him yet, and he will be there in just next few minutes. We would request you all to please bear with us and wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. He will be there in the meeting, and he'll be enlightening us with his views. And his topic is gonna be impact of urban development on the ecosystem of Ladakh. So I request everyone to please bear with us for 2 3 minutes. He'll be joining soon. So till the time he gets back, we would like to announce the results of our competition, Prakati Ki Khoj and Green Plan. So it was great to have such an immense participation in both the competitions, and we are really delighted to have all the participants and such a huge participation. We have gone through every presentations, and we have and it was very difficult for us to decide, because in every presentation there was a lot of there were a lot of efforts put. There was a lot of brain and a want to save environment. So, and same in Prakriti Ki Khoj, we conducted a treasure hunt competition in which there were various riddles, and through those riddles, participants had to find a few eco-friendly products in their own home. So, it was really difficult to decide the results at that point of time. There was such a good competition, and it could show us that how curious youth is right now to save our Mother Earth. So I would request Anu Satyal ma'am to take it over and announce the result for Green Plan.
Okay, thank you, Isha. First one, which one do you want? Green Plan or Prakriti
Green Plan.
Okay. So I have three names of three, I think, winners: second runner-up, first runner-up, and the winner. So starting with the second runner-up is Book a Plant from Shahid Guru Gobind College of Commerce, and the team is Ashish Kaur, Ruhim Singh, Prabal Negi and Nishchay Mohanty. Congratulations. First runner-up is There's No Earth Half Notebook from Delhi School of Social Work. And this is by Piyush Poddar. And the winner of this green plan is Vridhi from Hansraj College, Isha Thakur, Priyanka Singhal, and Yash Khandelwal. So many congratulations to all of you. Yes, Isha?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Can we have these winners, second runner-up, first runner-up, and winners on our screen?
Okay.
So we have our first runner-up, Piyush, with us, and
Okay, well done. Congratulations, Piyush.
congratulations, everyone. It was great. All the presentations were really great.
If possible, could you please announce the second runner-up again, second runner-up and the winner? Because your voice is cracking. I was not able to hear it.
Anu ma'am, can you please repeat the second runner-up?
This is for the green plan called Book a Plant from Shahid Guru Gobind College of Commerce. Ashish Kaur, Ruhim Singh, Prabal Negi and Nishchay Mohanty was the team. So that's the second runner-up. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for announcing the results for Green Plan. And now we would like to announce the results for Prakriti Ki Khoj competition. And it would be great if you take it forward.
Prakriti Ki Khoj, the second runner-up is Aditi Goyal from Motilal Nehru College. Congratulations, Aditi. The first runner-up is Navreen Kohli from Sri Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce. Many congratulations, Navreen. And the winner is Swati Goswami from Dayal Singh College. Congratulations, Swati. Okay.
Congratulations, everyone. And thank you so much, ma'am, for announcing the results. If we have participants in the session right now, they can turn on their camera. And congratulations
to all the winners. Congratulations. And
congratulations, Swati. So, ma'am, there are two Swatis. I guess there's some confusion. Can you please?
No. I'm not saying that. There were another competition called Nature
is Shairi. Yeah. So for that, results will be announced in in next few minutes, as our guest and our judge Dipti Sharma will be announcing those winners. So those will be announced in few minutes. Please wait on. And yes, Yash.
Hello. Actually, I asked on the chat also, can the winners of the green plan be announced again? Like, can the team be called?
Just a second. Yes,
yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Give me a moment.
Hello.
So I'm repeating again. Winners for the green plan. Second runner-up is Book a Plant. College is Shahid Guru Gobind College of Commerce, and participants team members are Ashish Kaur, Ruhim Singh, Prabal Negi, Nishchay Mohanty. And then the first runner-up is There's No Other Earth Half Notebook, and the college is Delhi School of Social Work. Team member is Piyush Poddar, and winner for the competition is Vridhi from Hansraj College. And the team members are Ishika Thakur, Priyanka Singhal, Yash Khandelwal.
Okay, thank you so much.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much.
I'll also repeat the winners for Prakriti Ki Khoj. Second runner-up is Aditi Goyal. College is Motilal Nehru College. First runner-up is Navreen Kohli from Shri Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce, and winner is Swati Goswami, Dayal Singh College. So I hope everyone is clear and everyone has got and it's really appreciable all the efforts that has been put up by the participants. It has been really great listening you guys and hearing your plans. It was really great to do that. Give us a moment.
Isha, somebody has asked to repeat the winners of B plan.
We will repeat it in the group. We have already repeated it many a time, so we'll repeat it in the group. So I would request everyone to hold up and wait for our second speaker, Tashi Morup, and results for our third competition, Nature e Shairi, are still up for coming. And there's some technical issue with the speaker while joining. Please give us a moment.
Hello everyone, my name is Vaibhav.
Vaibhav, I think we have told Tashi sir with us. He has again left. Vaibhav, please continue.
Hello everyone, my name is Vaibhav Gupta and I am Research and Development Head of Green Brigade. So there was 5 days campaign which we organized about eco-friendly lifestyle, the way of living ahead. In this campaign, we give our participants every day 5 activities to do. So it's basically first day we gave to feed birds. In second day we told them to use water judiciously. These are different activities which we provide to the our audience, and the motive of this campaign is to make all our audience realize the importance of environment and how they can inculcate that environmental friendly activities in their life. So these environmental friendly activities plays a really very important role in our life. For example, our birds. So when we give water to birds, it's really a very good experience. Okay, thank you.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir,
Hello.
we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So should I start? Should I start? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, sir, sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you all, and sorry for this inconvenience, the little bit of a network issue here. So I was told to talk about the urbanization in Leh and how it is faced with the climate change and the water scarcity issue. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'll begin by saying that I'll begin by talking a bit about the history of the Laytown, so that it gives a sort of a background and the context to what I'm talking about, and then eventually come to the water issues and the climate change problems that we're facing here in the Bay. So historically, Leh is a very important hub. It's always been a hub of trade, of culture, of activities and exchanges and all sorts of events related to these two major activities, cultural exchanges and the hub of trade, because it's an offshoot of the Silk Route trade that you must be aware about. So we still have the Old Town Leh, where we have all the heritage houses, the residential, old residential houses, and at the foot of the 17th century Leh Palace and 15th century castle on the peak of the hill, which is centrally located in the Laytown. So this old town of Leh originally had 60 plus 60, 120 houses. And this old town was divided into these two parts, 60 and 60. We call it Skjamos Tukju, Voksum Tukju. Skjamos is one part, Voksum is the other part. So this is old town of Leh. And if I tell you about how the architectural layout, at the peak of this hill is the 15th century castle. And then below it is the Leh Palace, 17th century. And then below that it's the residential area. This is how it is a sort of a traditional wisdom that is also reflected in our songs, our folk songs, wherein we say that it should be the temple on the top always, and then next to it, below it, should be the palace, and then below palace should be the houses, and below houses should be the public space. So these four different kind of architectural structures of the spaces is how the old town of the socio-political, it reflects the socio-political setting of the old town of Leh. So I'm telling you this to explain that traditionally people, I mean, in the whole planning of the town, they had a lot of science in it, a lot of logic in it, rational in it. So this old town in the recent decades have, you can say, been added beyond its peripheries with a lot of modern constructions, concrete buildings, urbanization happened, especially after, say, 1970s when Ladakh was, the restrictions was removed for especially the foreign visitors. So the tourism picked up in Leh very rapidly. And then it boosted the local economy with cash economy. And with this, the sort of the modernization of Leh happened after, say, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then Leh suddenly from 60, 120 houses now have it's virtually has become a concrete jungle, modern constructions, and every year much bigger, massive buildings, constructions happening, more added to this modern sprout. Now, see, when I was saying about the original 60, 120 houses, is how it was in a way that was the limit of the capacity of the resources, the natural resources that the Leh Valley can sustain. Say roughly about 1,000 people population in the Laytown. Now, with the tourism, with all new developments, with modern market economy, modern constructions, and floating population, tourists, laborers, and army, so all this floating population is also concentrated in Leh. Now, the water sources that we are dependent on, there are key two water sources, or the water towers of Leh. And those two sources are the two glaciers that we have high up in the mountain valley. And those two glaciers are called Phutse Glacier and Nangse Glacier. Now, the Nangse Glacier, in the recent, say about 20, 30 years, we had a chance to, climb up to that mountain to check how the glacier, the status of the glacier, some 3 or 4 years ago. And we took a veteran, a farmer with us who had spent her childhood, say, for 30, 40 years, she lived there. So we took her along to see, how the glacier looked in the past and how it is now. And she was totally shocked not to find a sign of any glacier. There was some snow line, no glacier. It was all gone. So it really shocked her, and she couldn't believe her eyes. And she vividly remembered how the glacier looked, the massive glacier there, and then the side of the glacier had all gone dry. So there was a dry patch, some snow line, no glacier. So Nangse, the one water tower of Leh, it's all gone. The next, the main glacier, where we have, which is the source, the origin of the Leh Topo, the Leh stream, is Puthe Glacier. So we had gone there a couple of times as well. So again, the permafrost and the glacier itself looked considerably reduced, and the permafrost extent of was also the way how the old people witness is totally had gone up. So so you can say that Leh is now limited to this very meager water source, and for so many years now we have been witnessing a drought-like situation, no water in the stream, and even if there's stream in the peak or water in the peak summer, there's a lot of competition, very stiff competition of the water for minimal irrigation that we do today. And on the top of it, we have now modern constructions, big hotels, business establishments, floating population. The water that sustained only 1,000 population is now being drained and exploited and exhausted by, say, about 1 lakh population in the peak summer. So you can imagine the state of the urban life in Leh, and the concern, the people, the original inhabitants, the deep concern and the regret that they have about the water shortage that we are facing. And now, in the past, as we all know, we have the union. It has become the union territory of Ladakh after abrogation of Article 370. So the things are going to be more intense, and activities will be more intensified. But there are hopes also about the new UT administration, who's seriously considering making Ladakh zero carbon. That's one of the commitment, the conviction they've been reiterating right from the beginning. So we are just hoping for better time in the future, and unless concrete steps are taken, Leh is going to see a very big, massive water crisis, and it's already going through it. So in Ladakh, if you look at the geography of the landscape of the Ladakh, you all know that it's a high altitude cold desert. It's a desert. And whatever the green patches you see here and there in different valleys are actually, of course, they're not natural. It's all in the result of the hardship of the local people over centuries, by channelizing the water through canals and storing them in the water ponds. We call it zing. So there's a very intricate system of water distribution that our ancestors have come up with, evolved through the centuries, and we have a very effective and efficient water management system also. or water governance system we can call, which we call the Churpon system, or the waterlogged. So the families of there's this responsibility to ensure the proper distribution of water, management of water in the agricultural season in summer, 4 or 5 months agricultural season. So, if I tell you a bit about how this water is distributed and some of the elements about it. So the water distribution is managed through a very systematic methods and phases. We have night water, we have day water, we have morning water, we have evening water, and especially this churpons, the waterlogs or the water guards. They ensure that every field gets water in time, and there's a sequence which is followed in the distribution of this water, and there's a sequence and order which is followed. Which part gets the morning water, which part gets the evening water, which part gets the night water and the day water. Apart from the stream water, we have some springs or natural springs also. So those springs are allowed to are actually stored in the water ponds called zing. So there are certain areas, certain parts of Laytown where you store the spring water in a water pond continuously as a reserve water in case of water crisis. You would store up this water, natural spring waters into these zings. If the stream water, the glacial melt water coming through the stream and then channelized into zings are not sufficient enough, then we have this alternative. So there's a very intricate system of managing water and governing water. Now, it's been 2 years now, 2 or 3 years, since this management system has also collapsed. It's dead now, it's no more there. So the whole system is gone, totally out of control. It's become very random. Hello? Yes. So I mean to say that the traditional system of traditional awareness of the water resources, or the resources in general that we have, and how people were aware that you cannot say cultivate an inch of land beyond the size of the fixed size of total irrigated or agricultural land. So there's also a system and a law, the community law that sort of govern that do not allow people to or the whole community to go beyond a limit. So that was the awareness that the people have about the capacity of the existing water resources that we have, and to what extent that one can go, beyond which you cannot go, because it will lead to some sort of a crisis, and it will lead to the total interruption and disruption of the whole system. Now, in the past, say, 20, 30 years or 40 years, there's been this very drastic changes taking place in Leh, and thereby in the whole of Ladakh. after it was open to the visitors coming from outside for different countries, and then deployment of the defense establishments here, also other population, the floating population that made influx into Leh, especially in the summer season. So of course, the constraint, it constrained the limited water resources. Now, what has happened in this decades is a lot more construction of the new buildings, because earlier the fields, the agricultural land, were spared from any sort of construction, because people lived within the old town of Leh, below the palace. And that old residential area is called Kunsa, because it is warm, the hill is naturally south-facing and receives good sun, and it's also have some safety elements in it. For example, in case of a flash floods, it is reasonably at a safe location. Because of being located on a height and on a hill. And it also spares having the residential area, the whole residential population of Leh concentrated in one land for growing and cultivation purposes. And so for that, that's how the population is sustained, and the livelihood that they depended on, which has always been subsistence, agriculture plus trade. Now things have gone totally out of limit. It has crossed the boundaries. Now the water scarcity is becoming more and more concern and issue. It's growing in size, and now with this new construction, big hotels, tourism boom, the competition for making as much wealth in as quick as possible. So this sort of competition there in the Laytown today, and of course, people had to look for alternative water sources, and what they resorted to was to duck bore wells, tap the groundwater. So, if I give you an example, a very big hotel would have, say, about 12, 15 bore wells dug within the compound of the hotel. So every year we are witnessing the water table receding, and you have to go even deeper into the ground to tap the groundwater to meet the increased, multiplied demands over the years. So if this sort of a situation continues, I can't really say for sure how long we can sustain it. It's totally gone out of control, and it has violated the whole system and the law of the carrying capacity of the Laytown, as we have already talked about, the very meager, already naturally very meager water source, and then the traditional system of managing the water is collapsed, and a lot more new modern constructions happening every year, and it's always growing in size, out of proportion. So it is hard to be very optimistic about the coming time. Say in a very short time span, you can literally see the visible changes, the visible problems that are emerging because of the water scarcity, the competition, the concern, the worry on the faces of the people. So I would say the picture is not at all pleasant here, and just hoping for some radical shift in the people, not only in the people's thinking, but also in framing the policies. For example, as we are already hoping for some new initiatives that may be taken at the administrative UT administrative level, as they are already they're promising about making Ladakh zero carbon in the line of say Sikkim and other places. And Mr. Prime Minister has also spoken about this in the Parliament. So there are some hopes, and hope is what we are, holding on to, because things are not good at all as of now. So that is what I can say in briefly about the whole situation out here, the states of water, and the of course the growing concern about the climate changes that we all are faced with. And a place like Ladakh is more vulnerable because of the fragility of the whole system, be it the glaciers, that's up there, and how a slight rise in the temperature can create havoc, can speed up the melting of the glacier. So it is difficult to say how long that glacier will continue to exist, and if it is gone, then how its things will turn out. Very difficult to say. There's a need to take very strong initiatives, a radical shift in the whole thinking. There's need for some sort of a revival of the community, which is already seems to be disintegrated, although that natural traditional spirit of cohesion is dissipating, and people seems to have less and less opportunity to speak, put across the voice in the existing blotted system, an extended, elaborated structure. So those things need to be addressed. So let's say I'm still hopeful. That's all I'd like to say. And I would like to stop here, and then we can have some discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for filling us with so much of information and so much of knowledge about how things are working in the water management. It's very fruitful and knowledgeable session. So there's one question with growing water demand and drying up of common taps, how locals are adapting to such situations?
Well, there are some sort of steps or initiatives being taken at the community level also. For example, one very stark, visible thing that we can talk about is the construction of the ice stupas at some strategic locations, and ice walls also, which is also turning out to be, these things are turning out to be a site of winter sports also, a tourist attraction also. However, there's one sort of question about this ice stupas. how much it actually can contribute, or how much it actually can address the whole issue of the growing water crisis in India or elsewhere, wherever it is being done in the villages also. There's lots of villages which are facing severe water issues. So this is one concrete thing that has come up. You know about this ice stupa who has made it, Mr. Wangchuk. For this innovative idea, he's been awarded also with different prestigious awards. So, but then the amount of manpower and the maintenance and how it is cost effective, also these things are yet to be seen. But this is one adaptation that you can talk about. Earlier than that, there was this artificial glacier which was made by Mr. Norfell, who is also known as Glacier Man of Ladakh. So there have been some this kind of adaptive initiatives that have been taken. Other than you would see at different localities level, people are in a way just trying to sort out the water management, the distribution. If it is scarce, then they would come up with a system to distribute the water. You know, every household gets some water at least to not to let the crop die. So this sort of locality level initiatives or the adaptations are certainly there. And people are, at the individual household levels, people are thinking of all sorts of, having all sorts of plans to, for example, storing up water, the winter water, by having underground tanks, for example, and also such smaller steps are also being taken at the local community levels. I can't remember everything now, but there are lots of such initiatives.
So, thank you so much, sir, for answering the questions. So, what I can observe is in Ladakh, comparatively, people are minimalist. People live with minimum resources and minimum things, and yes, they take a lot of initiative. But we talk about so much of industrialization and consumption of resources all over India and world. Even if Ladakh is not into that, is not into that level of consumption, but because of the rest of the India, it is impacting that ecosystem, Ladakh also. So that is something very problematic. The people of that place who are taking care of their place, who are not wrong from their side, they are facing these problems. So this is something, again, co-independence, which we should when we are living here, we should also think of other people living in other part of the countries where water is so scarce, where living condition is not very good, and they are putting their best effort to conserve environment and then to run their living. So it is our responsibility also. We do it from our bit. So that directly, indirectly, we don't cause them in problem. So that is what my opinion and my input. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming, joining us, and giving us so much of insights and information. It was really great to hear from you. So thank you so much, sir. And as we move forward,
I'd like to say one more thing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you look at the history of Ladakh, since you brought up this industrialization, setting up factories and all that, which would be very, what do you say? It will be very devastating of sort for Ladakh if we think about setting up factories and industries here. Because see, Ladakh nowadays there's some sort of a trend which is picking up, is to commodification of everything that we produce, increasingly, monetizing everything, which is not a good sign, I think, because if you look at the history of Ladakh, Ladakh, as I've said, like it's a cold desert, and resources are very scarce and limited. So any commodification can constrain the resources, the natural resources, can actually cause a lot of big issues and problems for a very fragile ecology that we have here. So the supply-demand kind of a business that if you get into will be very problematic. It will create a lot of problems, big trouble. Because even in the history, if you look at Ladakh, has never been sort of big producers. If you talk about the Pashmina, for example, Ladakh historically was never supplied Pashmina. It was produced Pashmina in that at that scale that it could be, it could be exported to say Kashmir or other places where there was Pashmina demand. It came from Tibet. Pashmina always came from Tibet. Ladakh always facilitated this sort of businesses. It provided services. It provided transportation. So that's how the economy or the hill economy of Ladakh should be looked at like that. So I would sum up by saying that do not fiddle with the nature, this very vulnerable ecology that we have here, the fragile ecology. Don't fiddle with it. Don't disturb the subtle balance that the nature and the habitations have maintained for centuries. If you try to fiddle with it, try to disturb it, then it'll end up in a big problem. The whole system can be damaged to extent that it would be totally impossible to then recuperate, get back to its natural balance that we've maintained. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very. Thank you for giving this opportunity to talk to you all. And it's very nice to have you all listening to things that I have to share. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very great opportunity for us as well to listen from you. So thank you, sir. So moving forward, sir, can you please mute your mic because voice is echoing. Thank you so much, sir. So moving forward, we have Freedom Sharma ma'am with us, Dipti Sharma ma'am, and she will be announcing the results of Nature e Shairi competition. We are really grateful to have so many such a huge response in the competition, and after these 2 rounds, we are finally gonna declare our winners of the competition. So, ma'am, please take forward and announce our winners. Our participants are really waiting and can't wait to anymore to hear it.
Definitely. So I have winners with me, and thank you so much for inviting me. First of all, it was a wonderful experience. So yeah, I will announce the winners now. Second runner-up is a tie between 2 students. So the first runner-up, second runner-up, first person is Nimish Sake from National Institute of Technology, Karnataka. I really loved the way he used the words, and also he was very much patient to explain what he was saying, and I love his presentation. So he's second runner-up. The second runner-up, other person is Mohit Som, and he's from Arvindo College. So I also love his presentation, and he was also singing. And the one thing which was wonderful about him was that he used all his time. I mean, the 5 minutes were given to all the participants, and I mean, he didn't stop at 3 or 4 minutes. He just utilized his whole time. I love that thing about him. A good quality. Our first runner-up is Swati Jha, and she's from Kirorimal College. When she started, speaking, I literally got goosebumps. So her poetry was very meaningful and deep. I loved it. And our winner is Harsh Pandey from Ramanujan College. So he was also very creative, and I love the way he presented, the whole poem, and it was creative and meaningful. So I loved it. So these are the winners, guys.
Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations to
yes, huge congratulations
all
to all
the winners. If you guys are here, you can turn on your camera once. And is anyone here? Nimish Saket, Mohit Som, Swati Jha, Harsh Pandey.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Swati here.
Thank you.
It was great hearing you all.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Congratulations. You all have given like goosebumps. Like the words you said, the feelings you expressed, it was immense, and I don't have words for that right now. It was really enjoying the show. Good. Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming and judging our participants and giving them the output, your inputs, your knowledge, and thank you again.
Absolutely.
It was great having you.
Pleasure.
It was great hearing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So at the end, the last, just a second. So last but not the least, vote of thanks part, because such a huge event with 3 competitions and this annual function and a winner declaration, and then we included the campaign eco-friendly lifestyle, the way of living ahead, and doing all this in such a short period of time was never possible without our team Green Brigade. And I'm really thankful to all of you, the hard work you all have shown, the dedication you all have shown. Like, this is the last fest and this is the last event of my tenure, and we all the third years council members and all the third years who are heads, core members, we all will be passing out, and this was somewhere possible because of all the second and first years. They have literally worked days and nights, and I don't have words to express that. So I'd like to take up the names of the volunteers and our heads and our core members who have put their hard work and made this event a great success. So I would firstly like to thank all the council mates, Love Arora, Shivam Sharma, Love Arora, Shivam Agarwal and Suraj. And then coming up to heads, Akshita Bhagat, Sindhuja Sharma, Piyush, Himanshu, Shubham Verma, Shreya Jain, Vaibhav, Bhupesh. And then we have our core members, Divyang, Samiksha, Harsh, Isha Kapoor and Shaheen. Volunteers who have participated, and they have put the immense effort in the competitions and in all the events that has happened. They are Arushi, Devashish, Pratham, Maksad, Harjas, Aman, Hema Maurya, Lakshi, Mukesh, Shruti, Akshi, Sudesh, Susan, Rahul, Ashar, Harsh, Shivansh, Sachin, Hema Rai, Smriti, Lakshika, Pankaj, Sonu, Abhimanyu, Isha, Isha Kapoor, Prakshi, Tanu, and Arjun. And in case if I have missed any name, please forgive me for that. I have tried to take all the volunteers in group and have mentioned all the names according to me. But in case if anyone is left from the list, very very thank you, and it would never have been possible without the efforts of the team. So thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Really sorry for the technical issues which happened in between. I really thank our teacher convener Anu Satyal ma'am, who has supported us and who has provided all the support from administration side and faculty side. I really thank you so much in like helping out in each and everything and supporting us, and of course for the blessings. And I also thank Anu Singh ma'am, our previous convener, has given us this platform, has founded this society and given us this platform to work for the environment and inspired us so much. So thank you everyone associated with this event. Thank you to all the participants who have given so much efforts, and they have participate so much hard. And we could see when participants were participating, they were not just they had that feeling. Even when we talk about Green Plan, our presentation competition, we could see what mind they have put to do something good for the environment, to develop something good for the environment. And when we talk about Nature Hai Shairi competition, from the words and the feeling they were expressing, and yeah, poetry, song, shairi, they are the best ways to express your feelings, and you express real when you communicate that way. So we could really see that the emotions, the attachment with the nature. And we really hope that everyone will work for the nature and will try to improve the nature on their personal level, the way they have shown their feelings. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for participating, organizing. Thank you Anu ma'am, and thanks to all the speakers and all the guests. Thank you Freedom Sharma ma'am for judging our participants and announcing the winners. Thank you so much Tashi Morup sir, and thank you so much Abdul Ghani sir for coming and making the event a huge success. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
If anyone has any question, any query, they can ask or you guys can leave.
Thank you.
Thank you Maqsad.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.